Hello, class. This is the second part of recorded lectures for section 3.1, measure central tendencies. And we're going to jump right into the last of the three, is the calculation of the data set, point called mode. And the definition of mode is the data point that occurs most often. So when we were doing those frequency charts, right? Those frequency charts, the one that occurred most often is the highest number in the frequency chart. That's going to be your mode. So hopefully this is the easiest of the three to calculate. And there are three aspects to it. Number one is that the mode is the data point that occurs most often. If there is two data points that are tied for the most often, like if a data point occurs 5 times, two different data points, and we have multiple modes, and so you would just separate them by a comma typically when you indicate that. And the third thing is that a mode has to imply that the data occurs more than once. So if all the data only occurs once and there's no overlap like that, then we say that is no mode. And so with regards to calculation by hand, let's take an example of this one right out of the book, is that if we had 10 students, and how many siblings does each one of those 10 students has? And usually it's best to list it from smallest to largest, right? And you could see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 ones, and only 2 twos, 2 threes, a 6, and a 0. So the number 1 occurs the most often, so that would be the mode. So I guess don't overthink this too much with regards to that. Now, with qualitative data, like the data that we had back in section 2.1, I think it was, where the 50 credit cards, right, for merchants. No way to do mean or median with regards to this aspect. Typically, it has to deal with a quantitative or numbers associated with it. I guess you could do median if you really wanted. But there are modes with regards to qualitative data. So you remember when we set up the frequency chart, and I plopped it back in here so we could see it. You could see that when we list these all up here, you could see that the visa is the one that occurred most often because it occurred 23 times. That's what the frequency means. So given the frequency aspect of it, you'd be able to calculate the mode of a qualitative data as well. The problem with median is, where is the lowest, what do you consider the lowest and the highest credit card? And then obviously mean doesn't make any sense because you can't all add all those together. So with that, I'd like to jump over to our Alex and take a look at problem, and this is right out of your homework, problem number 1 for the calculation. And you'll see again that they have this ability to send the data to the spreadsheet. Highly recommend that you start using it. So let's do that, and I'll kind of show you how to walk through this type of calculation. So you click on that, and up comes the data to the spreadsheet calculation. So when you do these calculations, you'll see that the beauty of this is that in this spreadsheet under functions, all these functions are built in. So you really just have to type the function name and figure it out. But before we do that, I just want to make sure, when you do it by hand and kind of the concept, and with 6 numbers in this case, it's not too bad. So the first thing you always want to do when these calculations is you take the data and you want to sort it. So you go to data and then the sort. And again, it's always good to go from smallest to largest with regard to that. So let's first look at the mode calculation. So what do we mean by mode? Mode is the one that occurs most often. And when it's all in order like this, it's usually really easy to see. So you could see that here we have 49 occurs twice. So the mode in this case equals, I'll just put it in the next one, the number 49. So what's the median? Well, remember how to calculate median. Well, the median is, now we have 6 data points, right? So what you want to do is you want to take the two middle, because it's an even number, and average them together. So what's the first one? Well, 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the first number is 49. So I'm just going to let the spreadsheet do the calculation. So you add 49, and the next number would be 52. So we'll add 52. I put them in parentheses because you want to add those together first and then divide by 2. And so the median would be 50.5. So what's the mean? Well, the mean is you add all those numbers together, and then you divide by the total, which is 6. So to do it by hand, it's 24 plus 49 plus 49 plus 52 plus 83 plus 99. And then you divide by 6. And you can see that the mean is 59.33333. So another nice thing with regards to using the spreadsheet is that you could do some formatting of cells. If you hit format of cells, you can go to numbers and do the number of decimal points. And so you'll see that when you walk through Alex, it'll say round to the nearest 10th or 100th. So say like this one said round to the nearest 100, which is 2 decimal points. It'll, when you set that up, it'll do the rounding for you. Or you could just set it up with a lot of decimal points and do the rounding yourself. Okay, one way to do it. The other way to do it, which is the way I do it now, is use the built-in function technique to do these calculations. So how do we do that? Well, when we do that, we go up to the functions, and average is the mean. And so if you click average here, well, first of all, let's do it here. So the average is the mean. So you need a cell where the number is going to plop in, right? So you come up here and hit average, and it'll ask you what numbers you want to average. And so if we highlight the numbers we want to average and hit enter, you can see we get the exact same number. So it does all the arithmetic for you. What does it do? Add all those numbers up and divide by 6 for you. Same with median. And median's not here. So if you go up to more functions like that and you hit the search and just start typing in median and hit go, you see the median comes up. You hit OK, and it's going to ask you for the data that you want the median for. So you just highlight those data and you hit OK, and you can see we end up with 50.5 again. So another way to do it, now we could do the mode. And again, there's a mode function built in. So search for function. We'll type in mode. Hit OK. Comes up. And again, you need the numbers that you want to highlight for the mode. You hit OK, and you can see that you get the same answer again. So calculations, super useful with regards to that. And I wouldn't do it any other way. So that ends the simple calculations of mode, median, and median. So the last of these lectures in section 3.1 will deal with calculation of mean over with frequency aspects of it, like a frequency distribution chart. and then also dealing with ranges in the data set as well.